Thank you for joining For Our Special Kids, where we openly and honestly discuss the magic and the mess of raising a child with special needs. We are thrilled to have you here and hope this time provides you with some wonder and wisdom. I'm your host, Jennifer Lansing. Let's get started. The first question out of Joey Travolta's mouth was,
"How's my girl doing?"
How's my girl doing? That just shows you all you need to know about Joey Travolta, a very genuine man. Joey met Teal in Lodi, California earlier this year, and as usual, her magic created an opportunity for us to learn about a very unique company from a very unique man. Joey Travolta joins us today to introduce his company, Inclusion Films, a phenomenal organization started in 2007 to teach filmmaking to individuals with developmental disabilities in 6 dedicated production studios throughout California. I know you'll be intrigued by what his company's doing, his heartfelt stories of brilliance, and the amazing people working within it. But I think you'll also really be touched by our conversation. I am so happy to say I am not the only one who cried in this episode. Yes, Joey and I both share some tears and much laughter. If you have a child that may be aging out of the system, or you worry at night about what's next for my son or daughter, take a listen and then go do some research to learn more about how this world is full of hope, and it can come from behind the camera. I hope you enjoy, and let me know what you think. Born into a show business family, Joey began his career as a performer in 1978 as a recording artist with Casablanca Records and starred in the feature film Sunnyside in 1979. Joey has directed and produced over 20 films, including the critically acclaimed Enemies of Laughter in 2000. Before he made it on the big screen, Joey worked as a special education teacher in New Jersey. In 2005, Joey produced the documentary Normal People Scare Me while mentoring a 15-year-old boy with autism who directed the film. Inspired by that experience, Joey developed the curriculum for Inclusion Films, a program that has served hundreds of aspiring neurodiverse filmmakers. Inclusion Films has a mission of inclusion to train people with different abilities in the art of filmmaking, helping to create a shift in employment opportunities for individuals with developmental disabilities. The soft skills learned in the training program can be applied to other jobs and all aspects of their life. When asked what drives his passion for inclusion, Travolta shared, "My father raised us in an environment of inclusivity. Family was important, kindness was important, everyone was equal, and everyone was welcome." That's what first led me to being a special education educator. Partnering that passion for equity with filmmaking has become my life's work. I want everyone to have that sense of belonging when they are trained by us, come to our camps, or work with us on a film. That sense of belonging brings out the best in everyone and has allowed for an environment for Inclusion Films' talented, diverse team to work on projects ranging from an award-winning feature film to PSAs and documentaries for organizations around the country. Joey, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Kind of an obvious question, but do you miss your father?
So, I'm looking at him right here. Yeah, in the blue jacket. That's
Yep.
my dad.
Oh, he was a...
He was a hat guy.
Yeah.
He liked this cat.
Yeah.
It just happened to be there. Then that's my brother, John, and Sammy, and my brother-in-law, Jack, who was an actor. I don't know if you can see him with the bald head. He was on the Lou Grant. He was on the Lou Grant show.
Oh, then, nice.
We were on a little vacation. God, that's got to be 93, 94, something like that.
That's pretty cool. He sounds like a pretty amazing man.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best.
My mom still talks to me about, everyone's equal. Like, I mean, I was raised as like a 6 or 7-year-old knowing the janitors' names as much as I knew our teachers' names. Yeah. I completely
that's
agree.
Good. Yeah. That's a gift.
It's a life lesson that I wish more parents taught their children.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I want to go to that first moment that I met you. And it really wasn't me meeting you, it was you meeting Teal. So I just want to bring that of just how we met because
Okay.
it's it did bring me to tears, and I'm going to try not to cry, but I did warn you that I might cry. So we were in Lodi, Teal and I, having some neuro movement training with Andrea, and you were waiting for the elevator, and you looked right at Teal, and you addressed her, and you said hi, and what's your name? And I cannot thank you enough for doing that. And if anyone that's listening that does not have a child with special needs or an adult with special abilities in their life, just please know that you addressing my child made all the difference. I was like, I love you. I didn't know who you were. I was just like, I love you. Thank you so much for doing that. So first
Mhm.
of all, I just want to say thank you for that.
My pleasure. That was a great moment meeting her. And it's funny because even kids that meet other kids with special needs,
Mm-hmm.
it's normally the parents that's not polite to stare. It's not usually they meet, oh, what's wrong with you? This is it, and boom, it's gone. That's over.
You know,
It's
uh-huh.
it's all the stigma that's involved with we're all human beings. We're all on this earth together, and but that's the way I was brought up. So
Yeah. I was
um,
in Yosemite last Mother's Day with Teal and our family, and these two little kids were completely staring at Teal. She's
mhm,
easy to stare at. I mean, she's pretty beautiful, and she's got these
yeah,
eyes and the
hmm
smile, and they were staring at her, and I just said, "Would you like to ask her a question?"
hmm
And they
good.
said, "Yeah. What's her favorite color?" And it just was like this slap in the face to me of like, stop assuming that that kids are wondering what's wrong, in quotes, what's
uh,
wrong with
yeah.
her. Yeah, it's so true. So true. So first of all, thank you for that. Or why do you think people talk down to individuals that are different than them?
Well, I think some people just aren't comfortable. That takes practice, and that takes a lifetime of being not trained that way. But when you're around it and you see it all the time, it just becomes second nature.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think about it. I just think everybody should think that way. But it's the unknown with
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yeah.
And when they take the time to get to know somebody, or then it changes. Then you're comfortable. It's creating that comfort level. I mean, it's like when we do our film camps. I'll take 50 kids on the autism spectrum or other disabilities that don't know each other. First thing I say is quiet on the set. Filmmaking is about collaboration. We can't understand each other when we're talking on top of each other. And we're like a train that leaves the station. I say we're going to be split into 3 groups. Each group's going to be responsible for making a film. You're going to have your teachers. I'm going to interview. You're going to pitch me. And boom, the train takes off. In all the years now I've been doing it, since it's 2006 was the first big camp, thousands of kids. We probably had to ask maybe one to leave. I mean, which is like an unbelievable,
Yeah.
and the people that I hire to work with me, they have to be good people and good heart. There's a simpatico that goes along with that. The film stuff I can teach, but heart, not something you don't teach. That's something that's a natural thing. It's a gift. Like the guy, Dale O'Prandy, who runs Bakersfield for me. He's an actor, magician, but the greatest people person, just loves everybody. And I go, this guy would be the perfect candidate to run a program for me. And I brought him on to do the camps. And then when we opened our first facility in Bakersfield, he moved to Bakersfield to run that program. Well, I'm not
Bakersfield.
going to say. No.
No comment.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then, he's in love with the town. He loves the town. He bought a
Yeah.
home there, and
Yeah.
he's been there since like 2007, 2008. Most of my time now is concentrating on getting work
Mm-hmm.
for our folks and doing the camps a little bit, here and there, but it's really creating jobs like the workshop that you saw.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. So let's back up. So what were
Okay.
you doing in Lodi? Let's go there.
So Lodi, we were doing lights, camera, friendship. And basically what that is we took 8 male adults on the spectrum and 8 females on the spectrum. And it was about navigating the system, making friendships. We did dance lessons. We did a scavenger hunt downtown. It was bringing the city into it. So it's called Lights, Camera, Friendship, Lodi, because it becomes about the town and them opening up their doors to our folks and being accepting, and the restaurants and all of that. We gave them, they got a fee, plus they got credit cards to use. A lot of them had never used credit cards before. So it was managing the money. So it's like the show Love on the Spectrum, but the difference is you need certain skills before you go into that relationship love type thing. So what had happened was my partner in this, his son, through Autism Speaks, came to me and was interested in becoming a filmmaker. I'm digressing here, but it'll all make sense. He wanted to be a filmmaker, right? So I set up a Zoom meeting with him. His name was John, right? And the father was on the call. I'd never met either one of them before. And the first thing I said to him, I said, John, I said, I understand that you want to be a writer. Okay. You got 1 minute to pitch your best story starting now.
Oh my gosh. I got nervous just thinking about that. I'm like,
he pitched this story and it was beautiful. It was like, and the father was like, what was that? You know,
right.
You want to be a writer,
good. Yeah,
and you want to work with me. Tell me about yourself. Tell me your best story, you know. And from there, so he came to a camp in Lodi, because they all do testimonials at the end. And John's this was the best 2 weeks of my life. You know, it's like, well, all right, well, then we know we're doing our job. And
yeah.
So anyway, several months later, the father calls me and he says, hey, my son doesn't have a lot of friends. He doesn't know how to make friends and keep friends, you know, let alone asking someone on a date.
Yeah.
What can we do? What do you think would work to do something like that? And I thought about it and said, well, why don't we take the camp concept, and instead of having 50 kids, we have a smaller group, and they can stay at the hotel and they'll get per diem and they'll get their stipend and they'll get the credit card, and let's just experiment with that. We cast it first, and then, you know, it's a work in progress. We did the first one. Now I know what I would do differently, and all the above, but it's coming out quite nicely. So we're looking at doing another one in Georgia very, very soon. But I mean, that's how it all started. But the cool thing about it, crew of 16, 10 were on the spectrum. All of the participants were on the spectrum. In the post, 4 editors, 3 of the 4 are on the spectrum. So we're employing all these people, and it's not coming from the state, and it's not coming from Department of Rehab or anything like that. It's an outside source that sees the value of what we're doing. So that's my thing, is to create work opportunities. So I liken what I do to the minor leagues of baseball. So the minor league of baseball, they're all pros, but they have a place to go where, you know, they can cut their teeth. And if they make a mistake, it's not a big deal. This is what Inclusion Films has become. Not only a training program, but then the production company. And the cool thing now is that the entities that fund us, which are the regional centers, are hiring us now to do videos, which makes sense, because why hire somebody that's going to charge you 10 times as much and nobody gets employed? So
we talked a little bit about this prior to recording, the whole concept of inclusion. And I feel like it's kind of a buzzword now that people just throw around a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're necessarily living it. Tell me about the public service announcement, the PSA that you were contacted about, and how you shifted their whole approach to inclusion.
Well, this is how I met Robert Varnado and John Varnado. I met them through delivering jobs. And what had happened was, usually if there's like some kind of prodigy or someone in the autism community that's doing something, they'll usually come to me. Like Love on the Spectrum came to me can you help us out? This is what we're doing. We're casting. We need locations. But yeah, absolutely. No problem. Actually, we had a couple of our folks working on that too as well. But anyway, so Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, and Special Olympics had gotten together. They created this thing called Delivering Jobs. They were all set to make this PSA about a utopian world where people with disabilities just fit in, whether it's a barista or whether it's someone at a gallery or whatever the job is. It's just a natural thing to be a part of the population like we all are.
Right.
So I get a call and I took a meeting with them, and they were like, we're doing this job and we want to walk the walk and talk the talk. We'd like to hire crew members. It was a big union shoot at 20th Century Fox, and it had this big director involved in the song "Celebrate, Celebrate."
Oh wow!
They had that, that whole beautiful song as the thing and everything, and so we had the meeting, and they said, we want to hire crew. I go, okay, what do you need? Well, we need grip. I said, check. We need someone to help in camera, check. We need someone in sound, check. So before you know it, were hiring 5 of our folks, craft service, to do all that stuff. So we had all these people working alongside union workers, skilled positions, and holding their own and being there. And they got their $300 a day, which was a really great rate. And I said to them, so who's doing your behind the scenes? And they said, well, nobody. We're not doing behind the scenes.
Right.
I said, okay, let me back this up now. You are showing a commercial that you're creating that is this utopian world of people fitting in, which is great. Okay, I love it. I said, but you have the utopian world because you're hiring people that were trained in this field to work with it. You should be interviewing all the actors, all my crew, everybody, and use that as an introduction tool. So they hired us to do it, and they got millions and millions and millions of dollars of advertising, a lot from not only PSA, but the behind the scenes explaining what it is. The next year, Sharm, SHRM, Sharm. Anyway, they're a very big HR company.
Okay.
They've now since hired us to do 4 different jobs in Chicago, in New York,
right,
in Colorado. So our guys are getting to go and work. It's all connecting the dots. And, but you got the work that you deliver has got to be good. And they're getting that, plus they're developing the workforce, because it's all workforce development.
Right. That's what's really amazing. I know there are a lot of families that worry about the whole aging out of the system concept. And I mean, you aren't trained in certain things. Yeah. You are training these people to take on big jobs. And and all they have to, and I think what you said in your intro, or what I read in your intro, was that this is a life skills that they're learning that can transfer to all sorts of different jobs. So
right, exactly.
You're giving them an opportunity to come to a camp to learn. And then what's the next step? So they come to a camp for 2 weeks.
Well, the camp is for the younger. The adult program goes year round.
Okay. Tell me more about it.
Okay. So it's a practical film workshop. See, in the 2-week camp, you can't really teach them camera. You can't teach them editing. You introduce everything that's more fun, but it's still setting up for that mindset.
Okay.
But the adult program, they take camera, they take lighting, they take writing, they take directing, they take acting, anything that goes into filmmaking. Everything that goes into filmmaking goes into everyday life. Whether it's accounting, whether it's food, whether it's carpentry, and these are the things that aren't like producer, director, actor.
Right.
These are all legal, all these, and craft service, all these things. There are jobs out there, especially in California, and then other states that have like the tax credits and stuff like that, and they need the workforce for a lot of these places. So we usually do it like 20-week periods. During that 20-week period, they develop a short film. Then the short film becomes the lesson plan. It's very simple. It's how I learned filmmaking. I didn't know anything about producing or directing, and I didn't go to school for it. But when I got on the set of Sunnyside, and I was the star of the movie, so I had the luxury of being there every day, but I wasn't in every scene. I was in most of them. I got to meet the grips and meet the electricians and meet the accountants. And it just was fascinating to me that they take 60 people and together as a team, they make this and all the moving parts, the stunts, all that. So I was like a sponge absorbing that. And, that's how I thought, well, if someone could learn the way I learned by being there and seeing what everybody does, but how cool would it be to be able to physically be involved in different departments when you do it?
I want to go.
Art, they may do art department.
Yeah.
Did I ever send you one of the camps?
No.
Oh, I'll send you one of the camps.
Okay.
Right there. No, it's special. Especially the interviews. It's the best.
You sent me the trailer for Lights, Camera, Friendship, Lodi, and I just want to watch it, and it's so cool. Like, it just looks like yes. Yes, it makes my heart sing.
And the best is when you do it in the summer, and then they have a red carpet screening, and all their families come.
Oh. And
they come in limos and tuxedos, and it's pretty cool because everybody's always looking for outcomes. Well, this is an outcome. What we do in less than 50 hours it's pretty incredible. So
that's really cool. Will you tell me about Carol of the Bells?
Yes. What would you like to know about Carol of the Bells?
Well, first of all, I watched the trailer on inclusion on your website and bawled. Now I'm an emotional person anyway, and everybody that listens knows that, but I was so moved by the trailer for that movie. It is it's not based on a true story, but now you're finding out that there is a true story. There is a woman in Sacramento, which is fantastic.
Yeah. I just found that out. Yeah.
Tell me about the story. Just
there's a Bentonville Film Festival, and Bentonville Film Festival. I don't know if you know, it's the home for Walmart.
Oh.
And the Walmart in Bentonville is like Whole Foods out here.
Oh.
That's how high end it is. So we had done a camp in Arkansas, and we screened at the film festival, right? Which we did it like in a week and edited it, and then we premiered it at the film festival. And we did that for three years. But the last year, I said, it's time that we do a feature. Let me put some feelers out. And Gail Williamson, she was the head of the Down Syndrome Society in Los Angeles, but also an agent for people with disabilities, right? I said, I'm looking for the central character's got to be someone with a disability. And I'm looking for, a sweet story. So she said, well, I have something for you. So I get the script, and I'm on the plane reading the script.
Right.
And I'm like sobbing.
Yes.
Reading the script. And the stewardess said, excuse me, sir, are you okay, sir? I said, you don't understand. I'm reading the script. It's beautiful.
You're like, you should read it.
I know, but it was just, one of those things. So we ended up making the film, and unfortunately came out the day the pandemic started. But it's a beautiful film. It won Critics' Choice Award in San Diego. It premiered at Bentonville and was a part of that film festival. And then talking about delivering jobs, I'm sitting there and I'm interviewing. And the one young lady who, I think she has Down syndrome, she said she wanted to be a writer. I said, oh, well, that's great. And I said, what kind of writing? She was like, journalism, like, reviews. I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay you to look at Carol of the Bells and write an article about it. And I'll pay you. So now you'll be a professional. And and she did. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Again, I'm at a bar watching a football game. And she sent it to me, the thing. And
you're crying at the bar.
crying
You're
at the
crying now, which I love.
I'm crying at my beer. And again, the bartender says, "You okay, son?" I go, "No, you don't." So as you don't understand. No, but when my daughter was, what we used to take her
We're
to
both
the
crying right now. No one can see this, but we're both bawling. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
We would go to a Disney movie, and I'd be here, and my daughter would be next to me, and she'd look over at me, and she'd go, "Mom, Daddy's crying."
At a Disney movie.
Well, they set it up. I mean, they killed a mother in every first scene of a Disney movie. It's terrible. Yeah.
They've gotten a little bit better now, but
yeah,
yes.
Now they just kill everybody.
Oh, goodness. Well, the story is really touching, and I definitely encourage people to go check it out. But a lot of what you do is touching. And I wanted to go back to something you said earlier about you hire people that have hearts. You hire people that are genuine. You hire people that, I'm putting words in your mouth, but that are true human beings, or spiritual beings having a human experience. And you manifest that, though. You attract that because that is who you are. That's why all of this grows, is because it starts with what your father taught you and how you were raised, and about just this heart that you have. I mean, I told my mom, was like, "Who are you interviewing?" And I'm like, "Oh, Joey Travolta. And I'm really excited about the interview." And she was like, "Why?" And I said, "Because he's such a nice guy." Just because I was like, yes, inclusion films is really amazing. I was like, but I'm really just excited to talk to him because he's such a nice gentleman.
Well, thank you.
Well, but it really is important. And, the industry of filmmaking and Hollywood and all of that doesn't always, on the outside, right? I'm not part of the inside. You are. We don't always see that out here. And so I just really want you to know, as someone from looking in, it's really just beautiful for what you're doing. And
one of the cooler things, because they obviously, it was a SAG film, and we had some names in there, and like Donna Pascal and Donna Mills and RJ Mitty and all that. And the cool thing was 70% of the crew was made up of the folks that we trained. For them to say this is the best set that we've ever been on is really cool. Yeah.
Well, RJ Mitty was in Breaking Bad, and he has CP.
Yes.
I mean, so you have the main mother has Down syndrome, and your main actor has CP. I mean, and 70% of the crew, you're giving so much hope to people that are listening right now.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, and again, it was a partnership between two of my other partners that we made the film. We shot it in Bakersfield, and our studio hosted it. But I wanted to prove that I can train this group of people and make something of value. And the value not only being the piece of content, but the way the piece of content was made. That's where the value is.
I love it. I'll put the information in the show notes so that people can find it. It's really, really good. Outside of obviously Carol of the Bells, because I would imagine that's a really project that you're very proud of. Like, when you look back on what you're doing, either currently or in your past, like what are you most proud of? Like, what makes your heart sing?
Well, seeing our folks work. This was just in Lodi. We did a pickup, and we were going the following week to Arkansas to do another camp. And when I do the camps, I bring 6 of our folks that we trained. Crews 12, 6 of them, no matter what. I was talking to the one who also worked on Lights, Camera, Friendship. And I said, "Are you excited about coming to Arkansas?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, it's my first time being on a plane. I go, "That's really cool." And then I started thinking about it. Over the course of the year, I started counting back. I had at least 15 of these folks that never been on a plane before. And I thought, well, how cool is that? Not only do they get to see the world and see and navigate the system and go to cool places. And, because we used to go to Jersey and Pittsburgh. Before the pandemic, we'd have 5 or 6 cities we go to. And it was the best tool. All my best workers are the ones that got the experience of going on the road and managing your money and managing your time and meeting people. And just, when the hotels say, hey, you got a great crew there, everybody's respectful and you got to show the way. It all starts, like I said, with Dale. And that's why you have to hire people that get it.
Yeah.
Is what I say. Get it and understand.
There's a lot of fear. Speaking as a parent that has a child with special needs, we just said, we're going, we're living, we're doing. Teal was in 13 countries before she was 2. Mm-hmm. We are a traveling family. We, our work took us places. And so we would extend and have family experiences. And I believe that part of her joy in just what she lives and how she is because she has been exposed to all sorts of different things. And we as parents need to just say, it's okay if other people stare. It's okay if you have an accident on the plane. It's okay. And it's, sorry, if other people judge you because of that, that's their own crap, and I think I just want more parents to hear, like, there are so many things that we can do. And there's companies like Inclusion Films. I'm sorry. But I warned you. But it is so true to give these beautiful human beings this opportunity to shine. And, I talk all the time about how when someone looks at Teal or anyone with a challenge of any kind with pity, it's so stupid because Teal is the miracle. And if you're not seeing the miracle, then that's on you, because I believe all of these people are here. Teal, anyone that you're bringing, forward, they are here to raise our vibration. They are here to challenge us on how we see the world. And so you're just doing a beautiful thing. Thank you.
I have to tell you one other story about Eric. This is to show you the kind of character these young people have. He's the one in the trailer that you saw that he says, friendship is a gift that doesn't cost a penny. You can't write that. You can't write that. And this is why I love this guy so much. So when they come on the road, they get per diem, they get their hotel paid for, expenses, and they get paid. And he was with us for, I think, 6 weeks. And the last day of camp. And he said, Joey, I'd like to talk to you. When you gave me $1,400 for food and things like that, well, I have $720 left. And I'd like to... So now I cry. I'd like to give it back. Well, that's your money. You do, that's, just, and then we just did an interview and they interviewed him.
This is such a bipolar recording right now.
and the interviewer says, Eric, he said, I saw your performance in this. I said, you're like a movie star now. He said, how does it make you feel? And he goes, I feel like Shirley Temple. I'm dying. We're like, Shirley Temple, where did that come from? Yeah. Oh, my, very cute. So
that's so fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. But so if people saw what I say.
Yeah.
And what it's like Dale and Bakersfield. He's so dedicated to our folks.
Yeah.
It'll be like, I'll get a call and I'll go, hey, he goes, hey, it's karaoke night, Inclusion Films karaoke. I said, oh, I didn't know that. And I said, yeah, we do that, Hey, it's the softball team. We have a team. I go, oh, I didn't know we had a team. Really? I go, oh, and it would be, it's bowling night. And it's all on his own. The problem is that he doesn't want anybody to leave, because he loves the kids so much.
Right.
So that's the only thing, because I want to get them working and out.
Yes.
And being
ambassadors
on their own. Yeah, exactly.
Being ambassadors. I mean, that's, yeah.
But he just, you can't buy that kind of passion. You just, anyway.
Well, thank you. So how can people find Inclusion Films and learn more about the camps?
If they go to inclusionfilms.com, they can find out about Inclusion Films in Bakersfield and other stuff that we're doing. But we do PSAs, we do promotional videos, we do all kind of work like that. And the nice thing about it is you get in the pros, but you're also employing people that are neurodiverse. So
awesome. Yeah. We have, and I'll put all that in the show notes. And I did want to give a shout out to Bakersfield because one of my best friends is from Bakersfield. So I don't want her listening and being like, Jen. So no, Bakersfield's great. And it makes great people.
It is. It's a great community. Very, very big in the disabilities community. There's a lot of support there. So
awesome. Well, our final question is, and this might be extremely tricky for you. What is one magical moment you've had with an individual with special needs?
Oh, I think I just told the story.
I know.
That's magical.
That is.
Oh God. What's really cool is when years later, like last year, we used to do this camp at St. Mary's College in Moraga. And it was a very, very successful camp. And a couple of the kids that were major pain when they were little, the camp became their safe haven. Every year they look forward to it. And when we had the last screening, two of them that have aged out and went off to college wanted to come back and to the screening and kind of see how everybody was. And that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
You're creating community.
That they, exactly. And a lot of them went on to the adult program there as well. So, it's cool. I mean, I have campers that work for me now. So that's pretty cool.
You're doing pretty cool stuff. So I truly appreciate you sharing your story with us, but also just what you're doing and Inclusion Films. It was an honor.
My honor.
I look forward to hearing more. Thank you very much. And you have a wonderful day, Joey.
Hey, my pleasure. All right.
I really do.
Well, you take care and great interview. You have a great personality. Yeah.
Wow.
You cry a little bit too much, but
it takes one to know one, dude.
I know. All right. Well, you
will
take
be
care.
In touch. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
My love at home. Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you found one or two meaningful nuggets of information to make your day better. If you think there's value in what we do, please take a moment to tell another friend, family member, or a caregiver. We'd love to hear from you at forourspecialkids@gmail.com. You can send in a question, a comment, a topic that you'd like to learn more about, or if you'd like us to highlight a certain person, please send that information to us. It makes our show so much better and so much more valuable for you. Our Facebook and Instagram handle is For Our Special Kids. And finally, remember to witness the wonder and the wisdom within yourself and others. Until next time.